Think of a tiny food, almost invisible when placed on a plate, yet one that has conquered the entire world. Chia seeds, those seemingly harmless little grains, have gained the status of a universal remedy. They promise to aid weight loss, increase longevity, give energy, and protect the heart. Thousands of Brazilians, especially those over 60, have started adding a spoonful to their morning juice or evening yogurt, believing they're making a safe choice to boost their vitality. But is this complete trust truly justified? Or is there a danger most people are unaware of, hidden behind this impeccable reputation? Recently, health professionals and nutrition experts have been deeply investigating the true science behind Chia. The findings are impressive, but also worrying. It all depends on the form, timing, and quantity consumed. For some people, Chia has brought real benefits: better blood sugar regulation, a longer-lasting feeling of fullness, and more balanced cholesterol levels. For others, the adverse effects were so severe that they resulted in hospitalizations. And here's the shocking fact: these are not isolated cases. People over 60, in particular, who already face slower digestion, take medications regularly, and have increased intestinal fragility, may be running avoidable risks simply by not knowing the correct information. This is the central point of this content. Today, you'll learn about the 5 biggest mistakes people make with chia seeds, mistakes that can turn an ally into a silent adversary. We'll talk about situations that can affect everything from intestinal function to cardiovascular health and even breathing. And this isn't just sensationalism. A simple mistake, like swallowing a spoonful of dried chia seeds, has sent people to the emergency room with choking attacks. And that's just the beginning. The purpose here isn't to create panic or demonize the food, but rather to reveal the reality that few discuss. Chia seeds may be excellent, but they're not harmless. You'll learn how to identify these dangers, how to avoid each pitfall, and, most importantly, how to reap all the benefits without putting your health at unnecessary risk. In each topic, you'll receive not only clear and accessible scientific explanations but also practical guidance that you can implement in your routine, starting today. If this initial warning has already caught your attention, click like now. This will help bring this vital information to more people who, like you, want to age with vitality and intelligence. After all, if such a small seed can pose such huge risks, imagine how much we need to pay attention to the details. Brace yourself, because the first misconception may surprise you, and it may be happening in your own home without you even realizing it. The journey of chia seeds didn't begin on social media or in health publications. Long before it became trendy, this tiny seed was already valued by ancient civilizations, such as the Mayans and Aztecs, who used it as a source of vigor and endurance for long journeys. The term chia itself means strength. When contemporary science discovered that, in just a few grams, it concentrates fiber, protein, antioxidants, and omega-3s, the seed gained ground in scientific studies and, subsequently, on the tables of millions of people around the world. And it's easy to understand why. A spoonful of chia seeds offers more fiber than many fruits, protein equivalent to legumes, calcium comparable to a glass of milk, and antioxidants that rival renowned foods like berries. Furthermore, their plant-based omega-3s can help balance inflammation and protect the cardiovascular system. It seems like a true gift from nature, doesn't it? And that's precisely where the danger lies. When a food starts to be seen as miraculous, critical thinking fades, and exaggerations arise. In doctors' offices, it's increasingly common to hear reports of people who believed they could solve all their health problems simply by adding chia to their diet. As if it were a magical shield against high cholesterol, uncontrolled blood sugar, excess weight, or even chronic illnesses. But science doesn't work miracles, it works with balance. Research shows that benefits exist, but always within a context: a healthy lifestyle, dietary diversity, and adequate portions. Without these, the balance between benefits and risks quickly becomes destabilized. And when we talk about people over 60, this imbalance can be costly. A body that already responds differently to digestion, often takes continuous medication, and requires extra attention to nutrient absorption cannot afford to make mistakes. Something seemingly small, like consuming seeds without hydrating them or overdoing it, can cause serious discomfort and even serious complications. This is the real face of the myth: chia has power, but it also has limits.
And ignoring these limits can lead to consequences far removed from what one expects when seeking greater vitality and longevity. Interact with us. Do you know someone who believes chia solves everything? Tag them in the comments so they can also access this important information. Now, if you're curious about mistake number 1, be prepared. It happens so commonly and unpretentiously that many people don't even realize the risk until it's too late. The scene seems completely harmless. You take a spoonful of chia seeds and throw them directly into a glass of water, swallow them quickly, or quickly mix them into your juice without waiting for it to hydrate. After all, they're just tiny grains, right? Wrong. This is precisely where the first and perhaps most serious mistake many people make lies. Chia seeds have the ability to absorb up to 12 times their own weight in liquid. When they come into contact with saliva and subsequently digestive juices, they swell and create a dense gel. This process is great when used in a recipe, as it increases the feeling of fullness and aids digestion. However, if this happens in the esophagus, it can become a real nightmare. Real-life cases recorded in hospitals show that people, especially the elderly, have required emergency care due to obstruction after consuming dried chia seeds. Imagine swallowing a spoonful of seeds and, a few seconds later, feeling something stuck in your throat. The seeds begin to expand, making it difficult for air and food to pass through. In people with a slower swallowing reflex, common after age 60, the risk increases dramatically. This is no exaggeration. There are reports of patients requiring immediate medical intervention to prevent choking. And even when it doesn't reach this extreme, the discomfort can be intense. Heartburn, chest pain, a feeling of heaviness in the stomach, and even reflux can be linked to improper chia consumption. It's as if the body receives a fiber cap that's difficult to overcome. For an already delicate organism, this experience can be traumatic. Interestingly, this danger doesn't come from excess, but rather from how they're consumed. Many people believe they can simply be added to yogurt or swallowed with water. But chia seeds need time to hydrate and form a gel before being consumed. This ensures they're already expanded, preventing risks and providing all the benefits people seek. The practical recommendation is straightforward. Always let chia seeds rest in liquid for at least 20 minutes before consuming. This can be in chia pudding, overnight oatmeal, juices, or even mixed with yogurt in advance. This way, the gel will already be formed, ensuring safety and effectiveness. And here's the most important warning. Never consume dry chia seeds straight from the spoon. This practice may seem convenient, but it invites serious problems. Share this video on your family's WhatsApp. This information could save someone from an unnecessary scare. Now, if this mistake already seems worrying, wait until you learn about the second. Because, unlike the method of consumption, it involves quantity and shows how even a healthy food can become a burden on your body when dosage is ignored. If the problem with the first mistake was the method of consumption, here the issue is dosage. Many people believe that if a little chia is good for you, a lot will be even better. And it's precisely this way of thinking that leads many to suffer uncomfortable and even dangerous consequences. Chia seeds are extremely rich in fiber. Just 2 tablespoons provide almost everything you need for an entire day. And here's the detail that few people realize. When the body receives too much fiber, especially in people over 60, the effect can be the opposite of what's desired. The intestine, instead of functioning better, can become blocked. Gas, bloating, cramps, and even severe constipation can occur. This happens because fiber needs water to move through the digestive tract. If there's insufficient hydration, it hardens, forming blockages and making it difficult to pass. In the elderly, who naturally have slower intestinal motility, this combination is especially critical. Discomfort that would be temporary in a younger person can turn into days of painful constipation and greater risks, such as fissures or hemorrhoids, in older adults. Another important point, excess fiber can interfere with the absorption of essential minerals, such as calcium, iron, and zinc. This means that overdoing it on chia can, paradoxically, compromise bone health and immunity, the very things older adults most want to protect. Furthermore, studies show that when fiber intake exceeds the daily recommendation, some medications may have reduced absorption. For people who rely on continuous medication, this is a serious warning. But what's the right amount? The science is clear.
1 to 2 tablespoons of chia seeds per day are more than enough to enjoy all the benefits. There's no need to fill your cup or add chia to every meal. A moderate, well-distributed dose, accompanied by fluids, already provides enough fiber, antioxidants, and omega-3s to support cardiovascular, digestive, and metabolic health. Think of chia seeds as a special seasoning, not as the basis of a meal. They are that detail that enriches your diet, but they should never be overdone. Remember, more is not synonymous with better, especially when it comes to nutrition after 60. Practical tip: start with 1 teaspoon per day for the first week and gradually increase. Your body will thank you. And if quantity already poses hidden challenges, the next mistake is even more insidious. It happens when chia begins to occupy a place it shouldn't, as a substitute for other foods. And that's when your health can pay a high price for lack of diversity. When a food gains a reputation for being super powerful, it's common for people to begin seeing it as a one-size-fits-all solution. This is exactly what happens with chia. Many people believe that simply consuming a spoonful a day is enough to ensure a healthy heart, strong bones, a regulated bowel, and even protection against chronic diseases. The consequence of this belief is dangerous. The diet becomes impoverished, and the dish loses the diversity the body truly needs to stay strong. It's true that chia contains fiber, plant-based proteins, antioxidants, and omega-3s. But alone, it's far from providing all the vital nutrients. For example, although it contains calcium, its absorption is lower than that of milk or dark green vegetables. Even though it contains protein, its quality doesn't compare to that of animal origin or a combination of different legumes. And although it offers good fats, it's no substitute for rich sources of marine omega-3s, such as cold water fish. By relying too heavily on a single food, you create a false sense of security. However, the body still needs vitamins, minerals, and compounds that come from a variety of fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and lean proteins. Healthy longevity isn't born from a single isolated ingredient, but from the harmony of many. Imagine, for example, someone who decides to stop consuming other grains because they believe chia takes care of everything. This person may end up with deficiencies in magnesium, iron, or vitamin B12, which chia doesn't provide in sufficient quantities. In the elderly, these deficiencies quickly become apparent: increased fatigue, impaired memory, and weakened bones. It's like trying to build a solid house using only bricks, without cement or wood. The result won't last. Another risk of this mentality is psychological. By believing in a miracle superfood, some people stop taking care of the basics: reducing sugar, controlling salt intake, maintaining physical activity, getting enough sleep, and staying hydrated. Chia seeds don't make up for sleepless nights, nor do they replace a colorful and varied meal. Challenge: take a photo of your next dish and count how many different colors appear. The more colors, the more nutrients. Post in the comments. So the lesson is clear: chia is a valuable piece of the puzzle, but it should never occupy the entire board. The secret to longevity lies in plurality. Each food has a function, and only together do they form the symphony of health. And speaking of symphonies, there's one note that can sound terribly out of tune: chia's interactions with medications. This is a less discussed mistake, but one that can have serious consequences, especially for those who depend on continuous medication. Few people imagine that something as small as a seed can impact the action of powerful medications. But that's exactly what can happen with chia. Anyone over 60 knows that medications are often part of our daily routine: blood thinners, blood pressure regulators, hypoglycemic agents, or even specific supplements. The point is that chia, with all its benefits, also has effects that can complement or conflict with these treatments. A clear example is blood thinners. Chia seeds contain plant-based omega-3s, a type of healthy fat that helps reduce inflammation and improve circulation. The problem is that this same effect can potentiate the action of blood thinners, thinning the blood even further. This means a higher risk of bleeding, bruising, and even internal complications in more vulnerable individuals. For those taking low-dose aspirin or medications like warfarin, this can be dangerous. Another point involves blood pressure control. Chia seeds can subtly help lower blood pressure, which is great for people without problems. However, when combined with antihypertensive medications, they can lead to unexpected drops in blood pressure, causing dizziness, fainting, and an increased risk of falls, something extremely delicate in old age. And there's also the impact on glycemic control. Chia fibers slow glucose absorption, which can reduce blood sugar spikes. However, in people already taking diabetes medication, this effect can compound treatment and cause dangerous hypoglycemia. A simple feeling of malaise or weakness can be mistaken for fatigue when in reality the body is craving glucose. Special note, if you take ongoing medications, always consult your doctor or nutritionist before including chia seeds in your daily routine. Small adjustments can make all the difference. Therefore, it's essential to understand that chia isn't just a harmless seed. Its nutritional power is real, but it interacts with the body in complex ways. For those taking ongoing medications, regular consumption should always be discussed with a doctor or nutritionist. Often, it's not necessary to cut out chia, but to adjust the dose, schedule, or even vary the nutrient sources to maintain balance. This warning isn't meant to instill fear, but rather awareness. The great secret to health after 60 lies precisely in combining traditional knowledge, science, and professional guidance. It's not about excluding foods, but about learning to fit them into the right context. Send this video to that friend or family member who takes multiple medications and thinks that superfoods solve everything on their own. And if we've talked so far about consumption method, excess, and interactions, be prepared. The next mistake is even more common and perhaps the most frustrating. It happens when chia is treated as an immediate solution, and this leads to disappointment, false expectations, and often the abandonment of truly healthy habits. We live in an age where everything seems to have to happen quickly. We want immediate results, instant solutions, and promises of almost magical transformation. That's why so many people end up placing exaggerated hopes on chia. They believe that just a few days of consumption are enough to lose weight, lower cholesterol, control blood sugar, or gain abundant energy. The reality, however, is quite different. The human body doesn't work like a light switch that turns on and off with a single food. The benefits of chia occur slowly and gradually, depending on a number of factors. It can help, yes, but within a balanced routine, with hydration, physical activity, and other nutritious foods as part of your diet. Expecting quick miracles is the shortest path to frustration. Many seniors tell stories like this. They started using chia religiously every morning and, after a week, complained that they felt nothing. Others, believing in the miraculous power of the seeds, abandoned important habits, such as cutting down on sugar or going for walks, because they thought chia would take care of everything. The result? Disappointment, lack of motivation, and even worsening health exams. Science makes it clear, the positive effects of chia, such as improved lipid profiles or blood sugar levels, appear within weeks or months of regular consumption, always combined with a varied diet. There are no shortcuts. Rushing only increases the likelihood of giving up. Worse still, when expectations are unrealistic, people may even abandon the product entirely, throwing away a potentially valuable ally in the long run. Reflection: you've spent decades building your current habits. Is it fair to expect a few weeks of chia to reverse all that? Therefore, it's essential to adjust your mindset. Chia seeds aren't a magic bullet, but they can be part of a solid strategy for aging with vitality. The secret lies in consistency, balance, and patience. It's like planting a tree. You water it today, tend it tomorrow, and only reap the fruits after some time. Now, I want to bring you into the conversation. Have you ever believed in a food or supplement that promised quick miracles? Share your experience in the comments. Your story may help others see the importance of patience and balance on the journey to good health. After learning about the pitfalls and understanding what science has actually proven, it's time for the practical part: how to use chia seeds safely and effectively. The first golden rule is simple: always hydrate the seeds. This small precaution makes all the difference. When chia seeds rest in liquid for a few minutes, they form that characteristic gel that ensures safe swallowing and also enhances their satiety and digestion effects. One of the most common ways is to prepare the famous chia pudding. Simply soak the seeds in milk or a plant-based drink for a few hours, add fruit, and voila! A healthy and nutritious snack. Another option is overnight oats, where chia seeds are mixed with oats, yogurt, and fruit overnight in the refrigerator. In the morning, you have a complete breakfast that's much safer than simply tossing dry seeds on your plate. For those who enjoy juices, the tip is to prepare them in advance. Blend the chia, wait at least 15 to 20 minutes, and only then consume. This ensures that it's already hydrated and ready to act on the body. Besides hydration, there's another secret: combine chia seeds with foods that enhance their nutrients. For example, fruits rich in vitamin C, such as strawberries, oranges, or kiwis, help improve the absorption of minerals like iron. Combinations with antioxidant fruits, such as blueberries, purple grapes, or even plums, create a powerful synergy against cellular aging. This way, you transform a simple meal into a true longevity strategy. Quick recipe: strawberry chia pudding. You'll need 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, 200 milliliters of milk, which can be plant-based, 1 teaspoon of honey, and chopped strawberries. Mix everything together, refrigerate for 2 hours, and enjoy. It's also important to remember the quantity: 1 to 2 tablespoons a day are sufficient. Spreading this intake throughout the day can be even more beneficial, as it helps keep the intestines active and avoids overloading with a single meal. And of course, always accompany with plenty of fluids. Without water, even the best source of fiber can become a problem. To vary your diet, you can sprinkle hydrated chia seeds on salads, soups, or even baked goods like bread and cakes. In this case, in addition to enriching the preparation, the seeds act as a partial egg substitute, as the gel acts as a natural binder. It's a smart alternative for those who want to reduce animal products or simply want to make the recipe more functional. The key is to understand that chia is versatile, but requires simple care. With hydration, balance, and smart combinations, it becomes a real ally for health after 60, without putting your digestion, heart, or bones at risk. While it's already clear that chia can be a valuable ally, it should also be clear that it shouldn't be the sole focus of attention. Health doesn't depend on a single ingredient, but on diversity. And that's precisely where powerful alternatives come in, complementing, or even surpassing, chia in certain aspects. A good example is flaxseed, often called chia's big sister. Like chia, flaxseed also forms a gel when hydrated and is rich in soluble fiber. But it has an important difference: a higher content of lignans, compounds that act like phytoestrogens and can help with hormonal health, which is especially helpful for postmenopausal women. Furthermore, it is also a source of plant-based omega-3s and can be used in recipes very similar to chia. Another alternative is pumpkin seeds, which are underrated but extremely nutritious. They offer impressive amounts of magnesium, zinc, and iron, essential nutrients for strong bones, robust immunity, and daily energy. Magnesium, in particular, is essential for relaxing muscles and nerves, helping combat cramps and insomnia, common problems after 60. Walnuts also deserve a mention. Rich in polyunsaturated fatty acids and antioxidants, solid studies link their regular consumption to reduced cardiovascular risk and improved brain function. For those looking to simultaneously protect their memory and heart, few options are as complete. Almonds are a powerful source of calcium, vitamin E, and healthy fats. They're convenient and delicious, and can be included as snacks, in homemade granola, or even in savory recipes. Finally, sunflower seeds offer selenium, an essential mineral for the body's antioxidant defenses and thyroid health. The point is simple: variety multiplies benefits. Each seed or nut brings its own signature of nutrients, and when you combine them, your body will thank you. This reduces the risk of nutritional deficiencies, enhances health, and makes eating much more enjoyable. Suggested weekly rotation: Monday chia, Tuesday flaxseed, Wednesday walnuts, Thursday Brazil nuts, Friday almonds, Saturday sunflower seeds, Sunday free mix. Now, think of someone you know who adds chia to everything, from coffee to dinner. Why not share this video with them? Maybe this will be the wake-up call they need to discover a world of possibilities beyond chia. Sometimes, sharing knowledge is as valuable as adopting the habit itself. It's time to transform all this knowledge into simple, easy-to-apply actions, specifically adapted for people over 60. After all, it's not enough to know what to avoid, you also need to be clear about how to act in a practical, safe, and enjoyable way. The first step is to always hydrate the seeds. Never consume dried chia or flax seeds directly. Leave them in contact with liquids for at least 20 minutes before ingesting. This prevents choking and ensures that the protective gel forms, aiding digestion. This simple rule alone prevents many of the problems reported in clinics. The second adjustment is to respect quantity limits. 1 or 2 tablespoons a day is sufficient. Excess does not increase benefits, it only increases the risk of intestinal discomfort and interferes with nutrient absorption. Remember, balance is key to longevity. The third point is to vary your seed and nut sources. Alternate between chia, flaxseed, pumpkin seeds, walnuts, almonds, and sunflower seeds. This ensures a much more complete spectrum of nutrients, strengthens your bones, heart, and brain, and also makes your diet more flavorful and less repetitive. Another important adjustment is to pay attention to smart combinations. Mixing chia with fruits rich in vitamin C helps with mineral absorption. Using nuts with dark green vegetables boosts calcium. Varying your snacks with almonds or pumpkin seeds maintains energy and satiety throughout the day. These choices don't require major changes, but they multiply the results. It's also essential to consult your doctor or nutritionist before including chia regularly if you take ongoing medications. Adjusting schedules or dosages may be enough to avoid dangerous interactions without sacrificing the benefits. Individualization makes all the difference, especially after 60. Finally, don't forget to stay hydrated. Fiber only works well when accompanied by water. Therefore, aim for at least 1.5 to 2 liters of fluids throughout the day, opting for water, natural teas, and light soups. This practice, combined with moderate seed consumption, can transform the way your gut, heart, and even your mind respond. Important reminder: without water, even the best fiber becomes a problem. Stay hydrated. These small adjustments may seem simple, but they have a profound impact. What differentiates those who age with vitality from those who accumulate problems isn't grand gestures, but consistency and smart choices. And that's precisely what brings us to the next point, the conclusion of this journey, with a reflection that ties together everything we've seen. We've reached the end of this journey, and now you know, chia isn't a villain, but it's not a miracle either. Along the way, we saw how it gained worldwide fame, discovered the 5 most dangerous mistakes made with this seed, and understood how to avoid them. From choking hazards to excess fiber, from interactions with medications to false expectations, it became clear that even the most celebrated food can become a trap when used incorrectly. But we've also learned the flip side. Science confirms important benefits, such as cholesterol support, glycemic control, satiety, and protection against inflammation. These benefits make a real difference in the lives of those over 60 seeking quality of life, energy, and vitality. But these results only appear when there's balance, patience, and variety. The summary is simple yet powerful: hydrate, moderate, vary, and respect your own body. For steps that seem small but can completely transform the way you use not only chia, but any functional food. After all, health isn't built on fads, but on consistent choices, repeated day after day. That's why I like to say that longevity isn't found in a single seed, but in the wisdom of combining them. Each food brings a unique note, but it's the complete orchestra that creates the melody of vitality. When you understand this, each meal stops being just food and becomes an investment in your future. So when you look at a single spoonful of chia, remember, it's not about the size of the seed, but how it fits into the whole. And the whole is made of balance, awareness, and practice. This is the true strength of those who want to age healthily and independently. If this content resonated with you, if it brought clarity and motivation, I invite you to subscribe to the channel right now. Each video here is designed to translate science into simple language, provide practical tips, and reveal how food can be medicine in your daily life. Together, we will build a community of people over 60 who choose to live longer and better, with quality information and a positive attitude. Like this video if you found it helpful. Comment below which errors surprised you the most. Share it with friends and family who need to know this information. Because ultimately, it's not about avoiding one seed or another. It's about cultivating the most powerful seed of all, daily wisdom.